around the world, especially in the United States right now. How would you consider this tour so far? For since Triptykon's a fairly new band, but with old fans from Celtic Frost, how would you consider the tour and the people, the crowds? Are you guys getting a lot of good attendance at the shows?
It varies a lot from show to show, to be honest, and the tour is not a walk in the park. It's rather difficult, I would say, and you already threw in a few arguments. Triptykon is a new band. Of course, we are kind of the successors of Celtic Frost, but nevertheless, I think there are lots of people in the US that have not realized yet that Celtic Frost don't exist anymore, and that there is Triptykon now. So I think many people don't have an idea that we are actually playing now in the States, and of course we see that on the number of the visitors. Of course we had a couple of really great shows, but some shows turn out also rather disappointing, just when it comes to the number of visitors, because this is of course our first tour in the United States, and that's just the first step for us. And I think with any further tour that we are going to do in the States, things will get better for us. But this is the first tour, and it's hard work for us right now.
Kind of a beginning for you, a start.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Almost like a new band in a way.
And
I mean, you do have the Celtic crowd, but
of course, it's also our aim to get the Celtic Frost crowd, not only, but of course that would be a great thing, but that's still lots of work until everybody has realized that we are actually the new band and Celtic Frost does not exist anymore.
yes.
And I faced that a couple of times, like, I don't know, we played in Philadelphia and the turnout for the show was in that city not so great, and on the afternoon I went to a Starbucks with our bass player Vanya, and she had a Hellhammer shirt on. And the guy selling the coffee at Starbucks was like, "Oh, Hellhammer, awesome, Tom Gabriel Warrior, blah blah blah." And we're like, "Yeah, actually, are you coming to the show tonight? Like, which show? Triptykon? Ever heard of that? No, never heard of that." And that's kind of a sign that we need to work, of course. But that was clear from the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think nevertheless, there are lots of diehard fans coming to the shows, of course, also diehard fans of Tom's work, of Hellhammer, of Celtic Frost. And I don't think that they are disappointed when they leave the shows, and I think the whole thing is going to build up. Well, I still play in that band called Dark Fortress. It's a black metal band from Germany. And Tom and me met already basically at the very first shows of Celtic Frost after their reunion, because Dark Fortress is signed to Century Media Records, Celtic Frost and now Triptykon are signed to Century Media Records, and when Celtic Frost signed with Century Media, they got plenty of promos just to have an overview what is happening on Celtic Frost Records. And obviously Celtic Frost really liked Dark Fortress, and so they invited my band to be support act on their first comeback shows, and so we met each other. And we also asked him if he would be interested in contributing some guest vocals on our next album that was in work around that time, and so we stayed in touch, and well, a few months later they were in need of a new guitar player, and then we got that email from Tom and Celtic Frost if one of the two Dark Fortress guitar players would be interested in joining the band. And of course I wanted to do that, no question. And I'm a freelancer, so I'm totally flexible, and it was no problem for me. I didn't really have to make any sacrifices. It was just an amazing opportunity for me, and of course I tried to take it, and it turned out really well from the start, I think.
You have with the latest album just came out this year, March or so.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I heard that you guys are already working on the next album.
Yeah, of course. We try to keep a certain rhythm. We don't want to wait 3 or 4 years for the next album. That would be really stupid. And I think we have lots of creative energy inside us, and there are already some ideas involving in the head, and I think we are going to go back to the rehearsal room soon after that tour and start working on new songs, so that we can be prepared for a new album recording session as soon as possible. Of course, it depends on certain factors. You cannot force being creative at a certain time. It just has to happen in a way. Well, okay, sometimes you can force it, to be honest, but there are also, it's not 100% sure what is going on with future tours. I think, in my opinion, we should do another tour for Eperas Terra da Manas, also in the US. Let's just see how that happens, and there are many factors that will define when we are finally going to release the next album. But it's not like 3-4 years. I think we are going to be faster.
The sound is not going to change as much.
No,
It's going to be pretty, maybe a few things different, advanced, but keep in the spirit.
Keep the spirit. I think there's lots of variations on the album. Within, I mean, there's a song like 1,000 Lies with its, which is a really brutal, very fast trash song, and then you have My Pain on the album. So that's contrasts. They couldn't be any bigger, and so there's a lot of space for different variations, styles in Triptykon, and that's a good thing because then you don't repeat yourself over and over. You can always do things that are different from what you did before, and I think what it keeps together is the overall atmosphere and the mood, the darkness in the music, and this is a thing that we better should not lose.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
A video, Shatter, just was released, just came out debut, I think,
yesterday
or the day before.
Yeah.
I watched the video. It was a very, very cool video. Like,
Great to hear.
simple in a way,
Yeah.
basic, but very catching, very like making you want to watch it again.
Yeah,
over
that's a
and
good
over.
thing because that was our aim, to create something that is not like the typical metal video that you see every day from every band, just the band performing very fast cuts. It's the exact opposite. It's very slow. It's rather inspired by horror movies from the 20s.
Yes.
And
Kind of see that theme in there.
exactly, and I'm very proud of that video.
How long did it take you, and when you were making the video, or you were part of it, obviously? How long did the whole process take?
Well, obviously there was lots of things happened in the post-production. So the actual shot was a bit more than 1 day. So we shot the video in Leipzig from Eastern Germany,
Okay.
and used 1 whole day and then another day, like 3-4 hours or something.
A lot of editing and going over the different cuts and things like
Of course, yeah.
that. I think it came out great. That was
Yeah,
a very eye-catching, get people's attention video, because like
Cool.
you said, it's different.
Yeah.
Basic but different. And,
Yep.
and the shadows. That
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was really
This
cool.
is really great, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
When you had the long extended shadows up
Yeah,
to
because
the cement.
if you look at this, it almost like looks like a picture that is moving, and this is
Where was it filmed?
great. It was filmed in Leipzig just in an old factory.
Old factory building. That's
Yeah,
not
and
used
lots
anymore.
of green screen shots, of course.
Do you still see a future in the actual CD, or do you think there's also a comeback to regular albums, records now are getting
vinyl.
a resurgence? Yeah,
Absolutely.
vinyl.
With the CD, it's a difficult thing. It's a normal thing if you look at the past of music history, that format's changing. Nobody is using a cassette anymore.
No.
Why would you? And a CD, well, I mean, it's also. I like having albums. I don't like MP3s that much. I like to have something in my hands.
Physical.
Exactly. I like to look at the cover. I want to read the lyrics. I see an album as a complete piece of art that consists of more than only the music. It's the artwork, the lyrics. It's actually, for
It's the
me,
whole
it's in a
package.
way a triptych, an album. You know what I mean? Like lyrics, artwork, and music, and that belongs together in my opinion. But the CD is not the top-notch format anymore. I mean, it was established almost 30 years ago, and now people know that CDs are getting seriously damaged with the years. So if you have a very old CD, you can't even play it anymore, and the whole thing, like that you can only fit 700 megabytes
Yes.
on that big disc. It's in a way ridiculous. So I believe that if you look in 50 years or something, I don't expect that anybody will produce CDs anymore. I still hope that something will be produced that people go and buy, because that would be the complete, that would be the death of the whole music industry and the whole music scene, if people would only download anymore. And of course, I mean, people are also buying for iTunes or stuff like that, but you know, when you sit in front of a computer and it's so easy to get the stuff for free, why would you pay for it when you can have it for free as well? That's a bit the problem with downloads, I think.
Yes.
And if I actually already pay for something, I want to hold something in my hands, and I want the best possible quality and not a downgraded quality, which is in a way the fact with an MP3. It's just compressed. And I think there will be some new formats in the future, but we will see.
Females at shows.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it is in Europe. I know how it is in America, and it's been this way for a long time, and things haven't really changed.
Mm-hmm.
And especially the type of music, you know,
Mm-hmm.
with your both bands now. Did you see? Is it still mostly 80-90% men, or is it different in Europe where it's maybe less? I'm just curious to see.
Well, I
if
mean,
it's changed.
here it's obviously, of course, the majority is male in the audience, and it's also the case in Europe that the majority of extreme metal audience is male. Well, it was different when we were on tour with Celtic Frost supporting Type O Negative, obviously,
Oh,
because
yes.
Type O Negative was the one band in the rock or metal scene that was really attracting women.
Gothic female.
Exactly, which was a great thing. I have no problem with having females in the audience. Contrary, I think it's a really good thing. And maybe the fact that we have a female bass player
Yes.
is also helping us, because I think not only guys admire Vanya, it's also a thing that many girls look up to her, and
They recognize and they see, hey,
exactly,
it's kind of cool.
yeah, totally.
Good.
I think she's getting lots of compliments from girls. in
I have
fact.
read some compliments too.
Yeah. I don't understand why the United States or the government of the USA makes it so hard for European musicians or for European bands to get over to the US. Because I think this will damage the live scene in the USA seriously, and many bands, like for example Dark Fortress, never had a chance to go over to the United States because of that reason, because of the immense costs. And yeah, I mean, it's almost impossible when you play extreme music and are not yet the most famous or most established band to earn any money. So you're on the road basically for free, just yeah, to play your music for the people, for the fans that want to see you, take your name out there, promote yourself, but you don't make any money, and you can't stand that forever, like doing music for free. It's yeah, it's basically promotion, and of course it's also a pleasure to be on the road and play in front of a crowd every night. But yeah,
But you can't
these
do
are the
it for
main
free
reasons why
forever.
you can't do it for free forever, and this is a serious problem. It's easier to go to other places. We've been in Japan as one of the first shows.
Yes.
Of course, that's also not so cheap to get over to Japan, but you don't need to pay for the fucking visas. And there are also people that regularly get problems in getting visas, like Frost from 1349. It's not so easy for him to get visas. He's, I think a couple of times the visas got denied, and then what can you do?
Yes. We'll hopefully we'll catch you maybe next year or
I hope so.
later. This
I
year,
hope so.
This year's running out. Right?
It depends. Yeah, I mean, this year most probably not, because
We're already in October, so.
exactly. But I hope that we will play next year again. But we don't know. It's we have to sort out a few things. Have to make new plans. How we are going to push things. What will happen? We will just see. Maybe only with the next album. We'll see.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.